Noisy Pixel.
What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Pixel Podcast, a show where we talk about games, but mostly talk about ourselves. I'm your host, Brian Lee, and today I'm joined by Azario Lopez and Jake Yoder. Yay!
You didn't wait for me to say hi.
Let me try it again.
Yeah.
What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Pixel Podcast, the official podcast of NoisyPixel.net. That's a show where we talk about games, so we mostly talk about ourselves. Today I'm joined by Azario Lopez.
Hello, Brian.
And Jake Yoder.
Hello.
Cool. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get right into it. Starting with you, Azario, what have you been playing this week?
Jesus Christ. I played Biped. There's a review on the site. It's a co-op puzzle game. It's cute. It's a little too hard. I know.
Really?
I never shy away from the hard stuff, but
That looked like a kid's game.
It does. It looks like a little baby game, and it's not a baby game. It's a very frustrating co-op game in a fun way. I mean, if you're good at puzzle games, you don't want them to be too easy, right? You want, and there's plenty of reasons to return because you're going to constantly you're constantly tested. The problem comes in is at the end, it's like it tells you should have died 6 times in this level. Like it gives you the par.
Oh, like a golf score style.
Weird.
Yeah, and then I died 37 times, and I'm like, oh, okay. There's definitely
can you
some
imagine if
divide.
it's like a kid gets the game and then they're just so excited. They're like, yeah, I finally beat it. Oh, you died 300 times. You could have done it in 5.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So, I mean, there's a single player co-op, and that's fine. It's the single player co-op's pretty easy. You can get through it in like an hour and a half, but all of the levels go for like co-op, so and it's local co-op on the PS4. I don't think there's online features for it. And I tried to do game share and it wouldn't work, or whatever, the screen share or whatever on the PS4, and it wouldn't work. So yeah. It was fun though. I liked it a lot. It was
That game looked.
It's 15
it looked
bucks.
really cute.
It's $15, and the amount of times that you can go through it, and the co-op levels, there's like 8 levels, and each of them have 8 different challenge mode or 3 different challenge modes. And then I mean, I can't complain. I got what I wanted out of it, and it's really adorable, and it's well developed. That's all I could ask. It's just challenging. It's just hard.
Yeah, I wanted to play that one. It was such a shame, because we've had the PC code for that for a while, and I was like, I can do that if it's on console. And then when we got a console code, I already had like 4 other games to review.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't gonna.
I was like, damn it.
I wasn't gonna throw that on you. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Like Jacob too. Jacob's one of those people that just get on a bunch of reviews, and I'm like, Jacob, I'll take these ones. They're typically the TD games though that I take from.
Jacob's so honest when he reviews those TD games, though.
He is.
Like, I feel like he's such a good objective reviewer for those types of games.
You know, he's really forced me to raise the bar on my criticism of them, because it used to be, can you jack off to it or not? Now
it's just a yes or no as the review.
I go into character depth and how they evolve and the different routes.
Mm-hmm.
He puts me to shame with getting through all those routes, because sometimes I get lost. I'm not sure if he has a guide or something. I never ask him, but yeah. So he's reviewing Final Fantasy VII for us. And
Because he got it early from Australia, right?
Yeah, he got it early. We'll actually, it should be up by the time this podcast is up. And if you're listening to this and don't already know, we will be giving away a copy of the game on our Twitter, so go and check it out. It would end on Monday, so it ends tomorrow if you're listening to this Sunday. And that's my plug for our giveaway.
Good plug.
Heck
Got it
yeah.
right at the beginning.
Yeah, it's North America only. Sorry, anywhere else in the world that listens to this show. And then I beat Sakura Wars, but that review won't come out for a long time, so don't ask me about it. I think not till like the
I won't do
21st. Yeah, I can't really talk about it, but I beat it, and that's all I have to say about that.
Can you at least say whether it was easy or difficult to beat?
Oh, whether it was easier, it's a visual novel.
No, but I mean in the sense of like,
Oh,
Is it-
it was easy for me to get through. Sometimes it's hard for me to
like,
get
was it
through.
unbearable? Was it unbearable? Because sometimes, sometimes those visual novels are just,
Yeah,
it's hard to finish them.
I typically have to drink a cup of coffee before I start a visual novel because I will fall asleep. And that's not because the game is bad, just because I'm just reading. And
Mhm.
typically when I read, I fall asleep. No shame, but talking about myself as the podcast is,
Yep.
I've been listening to LeVar Barton Reads podcast a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that show puts me to sleep, but I love it. I try to remember every time where I leave off, but yeah, I've been falling asleep to that for the past couple weeks.
Mm.
My COVID podcast.
You know what? You know what they should do is they should have, how like they have fitness watches that track your like sleep and stuff like that. They should have one that just pauses your podcast as soon as you fall asleep.
Dude, that would be beautiful.
I think
That would be
we're onto something here, actually.
I used to go to sleep to podcasts all the time, and I'd wake up and I'd be like 7 episodes in and be like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Like, oh
God.
shoot, what episode did I leave off on?
Yeah.
What are some of your standout podcasts that you would fall asleep to?
Oh, geez. I don't know. I listen to a lot of gaming stuff. I listen to I used to be a really big fan of We Hate Movies, which is not gaming, but they're like a really funny movie podcast. And they have like these great like viewer mail things where people talk about like all their terrible movie experiences. So I used to listen to those a lot. And sometimes I would just binge like I used to listen to this like Pokemon podcast. I don't even remember, but I mean I listen to a lot of like IGN podcasts now and like dude, I used to be this is completely tangential but I used to be such a huge fan of Screw Attack.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
I love Screw Attack.
watching what happened to them just hurt.
Yeah,
It just hurt.
I love.
Because I mean, I don't watch Twitch streams or anything, so now that like Craig went off and did like Game Attack and all that, it's like I don't
Mhm.
care. You know, I don't know. I used to watch Side Scrollers podcast every week, and I would like write in, and I got so excited every year when like they would like show all their like the users like all their names whenever it was their birthday week, and I would always look for my name on like the week of my birthday and be like, there I am. I don't know. I used to love Screw Attack, but yeah, then they got like bought out and all kinds of, and it's just been bad.
I used to fall asleep to Angry Video Game Nerd every night.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I don't want to show my age, but like I think Angry Video Game Nerd like got me cursing like as a child. Because I started watching that like when it was new, like when he was, and I was in like elementary school.
Well, not to show my age, but when I was like 18, I would go to Justin TV and there's a 24/7 stream of just AVGN and like JonTron episodes.
Oh man, Justin.tv. Jeez.
Yeah. So that's what I got. That's how I got to watching him. I don't know. There's something about his voice though that just like really.
Oh yeah.
Me. He has a really nice voice.
Yeah,
I look forward to.
He does a lot of his movie
year.
stuff now.
Yeah, every year on Halloween he does like a daily like movie review.
Yeah,
or at least he used to, and I love those because I'm a huge horror movie buff. So whenever he talks about horror stuff, I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
I think he had the episode where he had like Macaulay Culkin or something on it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
God, good for him. Good for him. Anyway, so for podcasts that I fall asleep to, it's LeVar Barton Reads, and then I got my Myths and Legends That's a really good podcast. It's a weekly podcast where like 30 minutes long, and the guy talks about myths and legends.
Nice.
And
Ooh.
yeah, and then what else? I listen to Joe Rogan, a lot of Joe Rogan. Bill Burr's podcast, so good.
Mhm.
See, anything angry or anything, I think I could fall asleep to. Like Bill Burr will put me to sleep. But sometimes I just at like 1 a.m. try to sleep and I put on something just to like focus my mind, because if I don't have something on, I'll just be thinking about Noisy Pixel till like 3 a.m. And so I have to put something on, and then I just start laughing sometimes to Bill Burr. He's just he's like me, but like way funnier.
I always feel like I listen to podcasts like nonstop. Like whenever I'm walking from like class to class, I'm never listening to music, listen to podcasts. And I feel like people look at me like I'm a crazy person because sometimes I'm just walking and then I just like start laughing because of a podcast. And I'm like, people must think I'm like insane because I'm just walking, not speaking, and then I just laugh.
I definitely think you're
especially
insane.
with your AirPods and your no cords there.
They think you're a douchebag,
boy.
and they think you're insane.
Wealthy and insane.
God, it took when I got AirPods, it took so long. My friends give me shit for so long.
Hey, it's not gonna stop here. The shit just started with us. I mean, would I want a pair? Maybe. I might.
If they were gifted to me, I'd use them.
I mean, they're pretty nice.
Nah. I bought some of the Creative Outlier Airs for the Bluetooth earbuds, and those have been pretty good. I think they're only like $70.
I got some Beats by
I just don't think I could ever go back to wired like earbuds.
Oh, no, definitely not. Especially when working out and stuff, dude.
Oh yeah,
wireless all the way.
Yeah, all the times you work out, bro.
All the times I work out, Azario, getting those mad gains, you know.
Walking down the stairs of your apartment or whatever.
Dude, exhausting, man. It's exhausting. I need the entertainment. I have a short attention span.
I'm in the same boat. All right. Well, Jake, what do you?
Yeah, Jake, what are you playing? We went on a tangent there.
Yeah, that was quite the tangent. I thought about that earlier. I was like, how did we get here? I've been playing a few things this week. So for Noisy Pixel, I played and reviewed Creature in the Well, which was this like really interesting like top-down dungeon crawler like pinball game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hard to describe. You know, it makes sense when you look at it. So go check out our video on it, and it'll make more sense. But it was really cool. I don't know. It had a really cool art style, really weird, like dark atmosphere. Of course, I love pinball, so it was good to turn your mind off and just kind of play it. And within 5 hours, I platinumed the game, which was crazy to me. Yeah, but I knew I was gonna platinum it when I looked at the trophies because I'm a huge trophy whore. I love trophies. Mm-hmm. I knew I was gonna platinum when I looked at the trophy list, and it said like 15% of players had the platinum, and I was like, whoa. So that's big. Yeah, so but it was a fun platinum. It wasn't tedious or anything, and it didn't feel too easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. One thing that I didn't like is the progression in that game wasn't very clear. Like there were all these upgrades, but they were completely hidden, and so I kept getting stuck on these boss fights. And I was like, I'm just bad. I'm just bad at this game. But it's so easy, evidently, because everyone's beating it. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And then I had to like look into it, and it was like, oh, well, you can do all these upgrades. And I was like, I had no idea you could do any of this. So once I went and did all the upgrades, I was way overpowered.
Oh, because you had all these materials built up over the whole time.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I probably spent an hour more on the game than I should have if I would have just been upgrading when I was like getting things. But I don't know. Other than that, and the fact that, I mean, you know, after like 5 hours, there's no replayability. It was really enjoyable, but it's only $15, like you were saying with Biped. So it was a cute little experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then
$15 for 5 hours. That's good for me.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this on the podcast at some point where we were talking about how it doesn't really matter so much how replayable a game is if the first playthrough is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, like if it's worth it for the first playthrough, then you don't really have to worry about like having to play it again. Like Until Dawn was a one-time playthrough for me, and I had a good time with it.
Mm-hmm. I think I've only ever played that game once as well.
Yeah, because there's
played
no
Until
real
Dawn.
reason to
Yeah.
do it multiple times unless you like really fucked up the first time.
Yeah, I did that. I remember the fall that came out. I like on Halloween Day, I got like 6 of my friends over, and we all like passed around the controller every like 10 minutes and like played through the whole game together.
Mhm.
I love Until Dawn.
It's a good
And then
game.
Man of Medan was so bleh.
Yeah, definitely.
I liked it. It was just yeah, it didn't. Oh man, that's such a shame too, because it looks so good, but they stuck too closely to their previous endeavors and didn't kind of hone in on what made Until Dawn special,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it became a spectacle, they just did stuff just to do stuff like, oh, this is a ghost because it's a ghost, and that's it. Like you're just and I don't know,
Yeah.
Until Dawn gave you that kind of movie. You're like in a
Mhm.
B movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Teen
it definitely
Cabin in the
felt
Wood
like
movie.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one got a little too Man of Medan got a little too real with like putting a backstory on the whole war thing. And I'm like, okay, I don't really need
Yeah,
it.
I just got bored with it. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think I ever finished it because I got it on like Black Friday when it was on sale. And I think I played through like half of it and then just never picked it up again.
What I'm hoping is that they take this because Bandai Namco's gonna do more. There's gonna be more, but I hope they take all the feedback because it was okay, but I didn't want okay, I wanted
Right.
kind of that. So I hope that they improve the what the
Well,
dark.
and surprisingly, like Man of Medan like sold really well.
Oh, I'm sure because that party mode was freaking dope. That whole how you can control the different characters and program them. Like people were doing that with Until Dawn, like you said, but now they programmed it into the game, which is cool.
Right, yeah. So yeah, Creature in the Well.
Mhm.
And then I also played and reviewed almost a week ago now, Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered,
Mm.
which is a very long name, but I'm still, like I said, I reviewed that last week. Really enjoyed that, and I'm still trying to like wrap up like trophies and stuff. And that's fun for what it is. Again, it's like $20, so not that. I mean, I don't know. I never played Modern Warfare like the original that much, so I'm like loving it. But so I'm not sure if people that bought it like way back then would feel like it's like a ripoff now. Like $20 for a game I played 10 years ago. But I mean, I really enjoyed it.
I think it
It's
depends on
like
what you're looking for at the time. If you're looking
right.
for an interesting shooter, because the idea of a remastered is not for us to really replay them. It's
Mhm.
for a new generation to get their hands on it, where it's not
Mhm.
to make it more accessible to new players. And I think for that reason, it works.
Yeah, and I know personally, like so many of my friends are like huge into Call of Duty, and they were super excited when this got announced. So I don't know, but I saw a lot of reviewers were giving it like a lot of reviewers were giving it pretty low with scores, saying it was like a cash grab, and I was like, I don't really feel that because if you compare the graphics in the remaster to the original, it's like night and day. Like it looks so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
I was blown away honestly playing it. I was like, wow, this
If
game looks amazing.
if Activision wanted it to be a cash grab, they could have. They could have charged $29.99. They could have tied it into Call of Duty Warzone to where you had to not only do that, but get extra like Warzone packages and stuff like that. They could have did a whole
Mhm.
load of stuff, and they just stealth released it, which is cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. When I saw that like notification come up, I was like, "What?" So, but yeah, I'm playing through the like campaign again on like the like veteran like extra hard mode to try and get all the trophies and everything. So I'm really enjoying that. Pretty simple, but I'm also playing Persona 5R,
Mhm.
which is huge and crazy, and I love it so much. Um,
Nice.
Yeah, I bought the collector's edition, like the Phantom Thief edition.
Cool.
So I've got like Joker's mask like sitting on my shelf over here. It's really cool. Um, my tragic story about I mean I'm really looking forward to Persona 5 Royal, because my tragic story about the original Persona 5 is I was like super excited because I loved Persona 4 Golden. Picked up Persona 5, put about 60 hours in, got to like I had like 2 more palaces left, I think. And my save crashed. And I just couldn't, I didn't have the time to sink 60 more hours back into that. And I tried everything. I like called Sega and like Atlas and was like, please help, my save has crashed. And I got nothing. So I've waited all these years and avoided all the spoilers. I don't even know what happens still. So I'm like, this is my time.
Well, I feel like with Persona, so much happens that no one really knows what to spoil anymore. So there's like,
yeah.
Well, the only things you hear about are the controversial things.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are really into Persona, so I'm surprised no one spoiled it for me or haven't seen like a meme about it or anything.
Jacob might have spoiled it for me. So
oof, yikes.
Yeah, he likes to spoil things.
Oh gosh, I'd be so mad.
He's really excited about stuff.
Yeah, he just gets really excited. I don't blame him because he just gets excited.
Yeah, and it's kind of endearing how excited he gets. It makes you want to play it more. Spoilers
I feel like I encourage it most of the time too.
Yeah, I could be like, yeah, you be happy about this game. I like that enthusiasm.
Yeah, but when it's like something like this, like I've avoided those spoilers for so long. So if someone was like, "This is who the killer is," or like, "This is the bad guy," I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?" But yeah, I'm taking it slow on this one because it's kind of like on the back burner, putting other projects, like things I'm reviewing first. So I don't know, I'm enjoying it. I play like 2 hours a night or something, like before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Slowly making my way through. And it's Persona 5 was already like, in my eyes, like, oh, you can't improve on this. And somehow they did. So I mean, I'm loving that. And then, oh gosh, yeah, the last thing, because I hate myself, I'm playing the One Punch Man game still.
Oh, yeah.
So all of the trophies in the game are like really easy, except for the final like 2, which are like get to like become an S rank hero and get to the max player level. And the game gets really grindy, but I'm like so close. Like my trophy percentage is at like 90, like 92.
Oh.
And I'm like, I can't walk away. So I keep.
Does it ever get better?
No. Yeah. No, it doesn't. It's not good. And the longer I play it, because like I reviewed it for on the newspaper that I work for as well. And I gave it like we rate out of like 5 stars there, and I gave it like a 2.5 because it's like anime trash game where it's like, this is bad, but also like I kind of like it. So I didn't rate it as poorly as some people, but the more that I play it, like the more that I hate it. But like I can't stop. I have to get the platinum. So I keep bringing around my girlfriend every time she sees me play it. She's like, "Why are you still playing that?" And I'm like, "I don't know." But I'm hopefully going to platinum it eventually.
Good luck.
And then you'll be free.
Exactly.
We won't.
Yeah, and then I've also, the last thing, I've dabbled a little bit with Billion Road, which is a game that comes out next week that I'm reviewing, but I don't have much to say about it yet. So
cool.
Are you playing that with your girlfriend?
So that's one of the reasons I'm like kind of holding back is because I'm like I said, I'm in Nashville right now and she's in like Gainesville.
Oh yes.
And you sent me the code like the day that we like separated for like half a week.
I'm sorry.
And I was like, no, it's okay. But I was like, God damn. So I'm like playing it a little bit by myself. But when I move in with her and her sister, they both love video games too. So I'm going to be like, hey, let's play this game. And that's where I'm going to get like the bulk of my like review experience since it is a party game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm excited about that. I've been playing a little bit of that too. It's
yeah. I mean, it's cute.
It's cute. We have an interview with the producer on the site, and I don't know. I really like when developers are excited about their products, and so it made me like the game a little more just because of how happy she was that it was even coming west. Because I mean, most people don't know that like Bandai Namco America is separate from Bandai Namco Japan, where Bandai Namco America is more of a publisher and Bandai Namco Japan is the developer. But this game was developed by Bandai Namco and published by Actal, which is a I don't know, they did some Vita game, some Vita RPG a long time ago. Anyway, very small publisher, but yeah, so it wouldn't have come to West without them. So I'm sure that the developer side of Bandai Namco is pretty happy to see this niche party game come West.
Yeah, and it looks. I mean, I really like party games in general. I feel like we don't have enough good party games, so I was happy just to see that.
That's what it's going to come down to. Is this game like, are we going to leave Mario Party for this game, or is it just like one and done thing? Yeah, that's what I'm holding out for, is to see that opinion. Because visually, it's cute. It's cute as hell.
Yeah, well, stay tuned. Review next week.
Brian.
Yeah. For me, what have I been playing? So a lot of multiplayer games, because pretty much video games is like my only time to hang out with other people that isn't Jesse, especially considering the quarantine stuff. So I've been playing a lot of Tabletop Simulator, which I totally forgot I owned until my friend group was like, hey, let's start doing this. And I'm like, oh, I own that game. And then we started playing various board games on that. It's a lot of fun. The controls, though, I'm still have a hard time like getting used to navigating Tabletop Simulator. It just feels weird to use. But so far, we've just been playing like simple card games, like a DC deck builder, or just regular like playing card games. So that's been good. I've been playing more Golf with Your Friends. Such a good game. I can't keep recommending that game enough. It's just for first person mini golf that's really I guess, what was it, frustrating, but in an enjoyable sense, where you and your friends are just playing mini golf and getting upset when your scores don't go the way they should be going. Yeah, my friends hate it, but I love that game. Another game that I've been playing is Magica. So I pulled that back up again because our friend bought the game recently, and so we were going to run it through with him again. For people who don't know what Magica is, it's kind of like a Diablo-esque type game where you have elements bound to your QWER and ASDF keys, and you can combine like variations of those elements together to change like spells you cast. So you can make something a beam or a shield made out of ice or something, depending on how you combine your different elements together. And the story is really like quirky and silly and fun.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, super fun game. I think when it first came out, I was like, wow, this is a great idea. It's kind of like wonky in it's in like it's a little buggy because it's not super polished and stuff. But I mean, it's just a lot of fun to play, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that friendly fire is on, so you end up like killing your friends like all the time and having to like memorize what the resurrection spell is so you can resurrect them every like time you kill them. Yeah, don't play the sequel. The sequel sucks. Play the first one, and there's hella DLC for the first one as well.
You know what's you know what I actually like for those games, for those types of games, is Helldivers, if you've ever played that one.
Yeah, Helldivers is fun.
Yeah, it's a little harder. I mean, Magic is pretty hard, but Helldivers is frustratingly.
Yeah, and there's like a tone difference too. I think Magica, it's more like silly, so you can kind of like laugh about the fact that like bad stuff happens to you, so it's not as frustrating. Yeah, and so they have like ridiculous like DLCs. There's one where you like are in basically like the Vietnam War, and you get, instead of like a magic wand, you get like a machine gun.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but like little silly quirky things that they do, and so that's been a lot of fun. And more Borderlands 3, still enjoying it. It's just more Borderlands. Like if you liked Borderlands, I feel like you'd like Borderlands 3.
I was so excited for Borderlands 3 because I loved Borderlands like 1 and 2 like way back in the day, and I picked it up and it was just the same.
Yeah.
And I know that's like what a lot of people wanted, but for me, I guess I was like, oh, I really liked this game 7 years ago, but it's been like 7 years, and now I'm like, I want something new, and it just
Yeah.
wasn't new. So I was very underwhelmed by Borderlands 3.
Yeah, I definitely think expectations going into Borderlands 3 is like a big part of how much you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's literally a more like visually polished version of the first two Borderlands games.
Yeah.
They don't really add too much mechanically to the game, but if you like loot and guns and you like the aesthetic and shooting a bunch of dudes, you can't really go wrong.
Have you been playing the DLC that just came out?
No, I haven't. I'm still going through the base game of Borderlands 3. Yeah. But so far I've been enjoying it. I only really play it when my friend's on to play it because we've been going through it together.
Right.
But yeah, I think the biggest things that I liked so far about Borderlands 3, like a little quality of life sort of things, where you can find different types of vehicle parts and stuff and like augment your vehicles. I think that's pretty cool. I just like the characters in this one. I think that there was one Borderlands game. It wasn't one or two. What was the name of the other one? The pre-sequel. Yeah, I didn't really like that one, and I didn't really care for the characters in that one that you could play as, so it wasn't as fun for me.
I really liked Tales from the Borderlands. I think that's like my favorite Borderlands game. The like Telltale one.
Yeah, that one was fun. I liked playing that one. I actually really just like the Telltale games in general. I think they really,
Rip.
Yeah, rip.
Well, I guess they're kind of back, but I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated. But yeah, no, Telltale series games were all really good. Like I liked their the Batman ones. I finally like ended up playing, and those were really interesting because the story was really good. I really liked the Tales from the Borderland one as well because again, it's just quirky.
Yeah,
storytelling.
I think Tales from the Borderlands was the last one that I played because I stopped playing for kind of the reason the company failed because they were all just so samey. Even though the stories were good and stuff, it's like the engine didn't evolve at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons of the Walking Dead game. Fables was amazing, or The Wolf Among Us. The Wolf Among Us was so good, and I was so excited when they announced the second season. And I think that's still happening, maybe.
There it is. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think the last one I played was Tales from the Borderlands, and then I fell off. Like I never touched Guardians of the Galaxy or Batman.
Yeah, the Guardians one was okay. I played the first chapter of the Guardians one. It was so. That's me as far as what we've been playing. So let's move on to gaming news. What's some stuff that you guys want to talk about today?
The only thing I want to talk about is the DualSense PlayStation 5 controller.
All right, let's get into it, Azario. What's your hot take on the DualSense?
I don't like the profile of it. I think it looks it looks like a Mad Catz third party.
It's so ugly. It's so ugly.
I was gonna say it looks like something like Alienware would put out.
Yeah. I don't like it.
It looks very boxy. It reminds me of the Switch Pro controller a little bit too.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I love the Pro controller though.
That boxy look. I don't know. So supposedly this thing is wireless, and it has that Rumble HD throughout the entire thing, and you can feel it in your fingertips and stuff. What I was generally hoping that they would do is, how they just recently released that that back panel for your DualShock 4 is it added 2 extra buttons, programmable buttons in the back. Why didn't this DualSense have those 2 extra buttons back there? I thought that was a natural progression, oh, we'll release it now and get people used to it. So when we release our new controller, hey, it has these 2 extra buttons back there that I thought that's how shit worked in the industry, and I was so sure of myself, and they didn't. So in my idea of this is that, okay, this DualSense is going to compact with the PS5, but they're still going to offer a DualShock 5.
Mm,
I think the DualShock 5 is still going to come out. I mean, they did it with the 6-axis. Remember that shitty controller? They released the PS3 with the 6-axis, and now we don't see that thing anymore. It's all about DualShock 3. So I'm thinking maybe this is like the uh the model that's built in with the PlayStation. I don't like the PlayStation button in the middle, how it's an actual PlayStation sign. Uh, I liked the circle button. I don't know. I don't like how all the colors are the same color as the controller. Like they took away the colors of the buttons, the face
yeah.
stuff. It made me it's very modern, it's very like a spaceship.
Yeah, it is. It is very like they tried to make it very futuristic looking.
Yeah.
I wonder ergonomically how like is it any better like to hold in your hands than a regular like PS4 controller?
Mm. I hear the triggers definitely look different. The trigger buttons definitely look like they are going to respond differently. Um, the the new C USB will mean that the thing will charge faster. That's cool. But I mean, it has a mic in there. I guess that's cool. You don't need to buy a mic.
Yeah, that is kind of nice. So what I'm curious about is how like the whole thing is there's just so many DualShock color schemes to choose from and things like that. I'm wondering if like what colors they're planning on like launching with it and how they're going to go about like changing the colors. Like is it going to be the buttons? Because there's a lot of the controller is very just a bunch of white, you know? I
Yeah.
like I wonder what combination of stuff that they're going to make swappable as far
Wonder
as customizations go, or if they're going to do that thing where that Xbox Pro controller where you can just customize your controller to look however you want.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do something like that.
I really do wonder why they're going to they went two-tone with it.
Yeah, it is interesting. Instead of just the singular color like they usually do with the other controllers.
Yeah. Well, regardless,
But it's hard to gauge a controller until you have it in your hands. And
I need to hold the
yeah,
damn thing. I need to hold.
and I don't know how much I feel like it's only going to do as well as it's like if it's whether the actual touch haptic feedback thing is going to be just a gimmick or if it's going to have games that actually make that worthwhile, you know?
Yeah, like pulling a trigger and stuff like that can
Yeah, because it has to be something that like
you
is
can you
universally applicable to a lot of games, right?
yeah.
Like what you're saying,
I
pulling a
mean,
trigger or
if
holding some sort of object.
unless you're like playing, I mean, it really depends on what kind of
Hmm.
games you play. So, regardless, how much would you pay for this
Ooh,
controller?
that's a hard one. Uh, okay, since the technology is kind of like fancy, regardless of whether or not I'd use it, just because I know hardware wise itself is probably something that could be a higher end premium. I would say I'd pay maybe like $75 for this controller.
I would say 72. Depending on those analog sticks. The analog sticks on my PS4 controllers, they
Mm,
wear out. They like the rubber just came off of most of
yeah.
them, and I just had to keep on going. I hope that's not the case
I
here.
wonder, since we're in the point where like controllers are wireless, if they'll let you use your PS4 controllers on your PS5.
Yeah, well, they're all
Yeah, right.
Bluetooth,
You should
right? That
just be
should
able
work.
to, because that would be nice. I don't want to have to go buying a whole nother set of controllers for my other console, especially if they're just using the same technology to pair. Especially what if you hate the PS5 controller and you like, you just really, really like the DualShock 4.
DualSense. That's the name.
DualSense.
What a stupid name. Oh my god. DualShocker is a stupid name too.
What's up, Jake? Any thoughts on it that you want to input?
Well, I was kind of saying this earlier when Azario was talking, but I think they're ugly. It's I don't like the colors at all. I really hope we get like solid colors, and it kind of scares me for the I don't know. I I don't know. I hope the PlayStation 5 isn't like white. I don't know. I don't like white systems really.
They just get dirty.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like, I like the sleek like black things, or I don't know, like some colorful like things. Like I've got the Animal Crossing Switch, and that's like lighter, but like it's not like white. I don't know, something about the way that the white and the black mixes in the DualSense just doesn't sit right.
Like I don't mind the controller being white. I feel like if the system was white, I don't mind if the system's white. I would be upset if the controller's white. Because the controller's white. Because then it's gonna get super dirty with my grimy, dirty Cheeto hands.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the look. I had a very negative reaction when I first saw it, but everything else about it, like all the features they're talking about, sound like really cool. Like all this stuff that like I never knew that I wanted until they told me I could have it, and I'm like, oh, I want that.
Yeah, because what we were thinking about is just how gimmicky this feature is actually going to be.
Yeah.
Like it's all dependent on whether or not developers are going to actually utilize the fact that this is a thing.
Yeah.
Other than just like, oh, haha, you like it's vibrating a little bit when you touch an ore or something.
Yeah, it depends, because I mean, the Switch kind of has something similar to this because they've got HD rumble and the Joy-Cons, which are supposed to be like more precise, like more realistic feelings, and like most games just don't use it. So like, if you play 1-2 Switch, you can tell how many ice cubes are in the Joy-Con, but like,
in other games you're just like, whatever, you can't tell.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it is a lot of like buzzwords and stuff, and a bunch of like, oh, it can do this, but it's like, yeah, I mean, will people actually use it? It'll be cool. I'm sure all of Sony's like first party games will. So like for like The Last of Us Part 3 or like, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff with it. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts, I guess, on my surface thoughts. Ugly design, but I think everything that it's bringing is cool.
What are some games that you would like to see utilizing the new Sense feature, and how do you want it to be utilized?
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question, I guess, because it's like you never think. At least I never think when I'm like playing a game, like, oh, I want to feel this. Like I want to feel the touch. Like I'm playing Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. It's like, oh, I want to feel like I'm holding a gun, or like like, oh, I want to feel the sand of the desert that I'm in. Like I don't know. I mean, we were joking earlier, like Senran Kagura, stuff like that. Like how realistic.
Even that, I didn't like the Senran Kagura on the Switch. Like even they put that in the Joy-Con, and I thought it was gimmicky. No one even uses the HD rumble in the Joy-Con anymore. Like it's a gimmick, and I don't think it really. Immersion, I don't think transcends to a controller. I think immersion happens with the game. I don't think a controller can limit my immersion for me. I mean, if I can have fun playing a game on Switch with those crappy Joy-Cons, I can have fun playing any game.
Yeah.
I don't need rumble. I don't need the controller to heat up when I'm in lava or something. I don't need that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, because the visual and audio cues already, like video games are good about visual and audio cues and utilizing those to, make games more immersive, to where like I feel like this is just extra,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a necessity.
They literally said it, like when they were talking about it, like we've always thought about like this, we've innovated in video and audio, but touch, we haven't in touch. And I'm like, yeah, but like
because no one's asked you for it. That's why. Exactly. It's if we wanted to get all the way up to that, we would just go straight into VR,
Right, yeah.
Like in the end of the day, I'm still looking at a screen, listening to the audio. I don't really need to like that extra mile of drawing a bow and arrow and stuff.
Yeah. If anything, the DualShock or the DualSense like announcement only just gets me excited for what else we're gonna see, because this is the first like tangible thing we've seen from the PS5 other than like its logo. So that's exciting. So this makes me speculate like, oh, what's the box going to look like? Like I was saying, like, oh, is the box going to be black and white now too? Like, you know.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird how Xbox and PlayStation are going at each other, or not even really going at each other, but both going about revealing their new systems. Because Xbox, I don't know. Xbox is just kind of like, here it is. It's pretty much all here. We just haven't talked that much about like games yet, or pricing or a release date. And then, you know, Sony is like, feels like they're dragging us along. You know, like they're giving us like little crumbs. Like, oh, one day we'll show you everything. And it's like, all right. But I just remember at the beginning of the year when everybody was like, February, we're going to see PS5 in February. And now it's almost, you know, it's like mid-April. And it's like, oh.
Would you rather, like, do you like the hype, or would you rather they just be like, hey, this is it? We're going to get ready to work on games for this now. You know?
I mean, I like the hype, but I feel like this is getting excessive. You know, like, I don't know. I like when you say like the hype, it's like when I'm really going to miss E3 this year, because E3 has been like my favorite week of the year. Or my favorite week of the year for like the past like 10 years. So like I love the hype of that. And like I really want like a hype press conference, you know, like announcing it, which is why I got like super excited. Like I feel like everyone did for no good reason for Mark Cerny's spec announcement. And I was it was so boring and I didn't understand like any of it. In hindsight, I was like, well, it was a GDC, you know, conference for developers, so it made sense. But I feel like they made a little bit of a mistake by like hyping it up on their like main Twitter and everything.
Like this is it. This is where
the only thing that I took away from that was like negative when they were like most of the top 100 PS4 games, and I was like, most are going to be backwards compatible, you know. But the point is, I don't know. I like the hype, but I feel like at this point we should just get something where like, here is everything that you really need to know, and then we'll tell you like little details as it goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here's the box. Here's the price. I mean, I understand. In a world where, you know, this pandemic wasn't a thing, we might have had all that by now. Because, I mean, I'm still surprised they're still holding to that holiday 2020 release date, honestly.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe we're not getting it because they are still contemplating on delaying it. But I don't know. I just want to see it. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see games. I want to know how much it's going to cost me.
Yeah. For me, like, I think for console releases, I'm more excited about what games are going to be on it, and like maybe some like features here and there.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, I could care less about how it looks, as long as it can play good game. Like if the games are good and it doesn't feel shitty to hold that controller in my hand, like I don't care, you know. Like at the end of the day, it could be that Xbox, like that brick that's giant tower rig,
like
thing.
A PC tower.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm cool with that as long as it's kick ass at playing games. I'll consider it. Like,
I'm getting both of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They already have my money.
I was gonna say that. Like, I'm just dying to know. It's not like, am I gonna get this? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get both of them eventually. Really, it's more so like, which one am I gonna get first?
Yeah.
I just know personally, I'll be very surprised if I'm able to afford to buy both of them at launch, which would be amazing. But I'll probably only be able to get one for like a little while.
You're gonna get a PS5.
Well,
you sound like you're gonna get a PS5.
You would think that, because
it's all about the games, though. Yes. It's all dependent on the games, man.
I'm like big into Sony right now. So I feel like I did what a lot of people did, where with the 360 era and the PS3 era, I was a big 360 guy, and I loved my 360. And then, you know, when E3 and all the announcements were happening for the PS4 and the Xbox One, I was like, man, the Xbox One looks terrible. So I switched over to the PS4, and I've loved my PS4 ever since. But now I feel like what happened to Microsoft then is happening to Sony, where I feel like Sony's getting a bit cocky, and Microsoft is just, you know, still trying to make up for their Xbox One mistake. So they're fighting hand over fist to just like be amazing for gamers. Like Games Pass, like Game Pass is amazing. I would kill to have Game Pass on PlayStation. Like, it's so cool. And I don't know. And everything they've shown from the Series X so far has been like amazing. All the like load times and like I don't remember what they called it, but that thing where you can have like 5 games open at the same time and like seamlessly just like go in between them. Like, I don't know, everything that Xbox has shown so far, I'm like, you got me, you might have me.
Yeah.
And backwards compatibility too, because I still have like all my old 360 games. So it's like I could go back and play like a good chunk of those, and then PS5's barely going to have PS4 games, evidently. I mean, they said they might have, or they're supposed to have like all of PS4's library, but like, do I believe that? I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it really comes down to it because I consider myself like kind of brand loyal to Sony because in the PS4 generation, I've gotten so into the ecosystem, like I was talking about earlier, how much I love trophies. But like at the end of the day, if Xbox is going to give me a better experience, like I'm going to go to Xbox. Like I said, I'm going to get both of them eventually anyways.
Yeah.
So because I'm a spoiled gamer brat that needs everything. But I don't know. We'll see. Sony's scaring me. That's all I got to say, I guess. They're scaring me.
Because I'm wondering, like, and this might be like a stupid question, like, what's the point of teasing it if you're only competing against like 2 other consoles?
Yeah, and like Switch isn't even really competition.
Yeah, it's like its own thing. So you're only really competing against Xbox. So what's the point of teasing all the information and instead like just letting us know so we can?
Yeah, I mean that's
how we feel.
That's one of the main reasons I'm just thinking like, ooh, they might delay it. Like that's why we're not hearing anything. Which, like, I mean, at the end of the day, if we still get games this fall, because that's the thing is, if they delay it, are we still going to get games? Because dude, I remember last fall, I was like, oh my god, spring 2020 is so stacked, and then everything just left spring 2020, and now it's all in like fall 2020, or like we still don't know a bunch of stuff that's supposed to come out. So it's like if they delay the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, like are we still going to get like all of Ubisoft's games that were supposed to come out now but have been delayed, and like what's going to happen to The Last of Us Part 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, like but as long as I have games to play, I guess it doesn't really matter if they get delayed. Like I'll wait. Whatever, I like my PS4 and my Xbox and my Switch, I'll be okay. But I just want to play games.
I just want to play good games. That's all. And I know that the development costs for PS4 games go down when the PS5 comes out. So we're going to get a lot of niche games after the PS5 launches. That's when we get all the good Japanese games over there.
Oh yeah, I mean,
good point. That's exactly what.
Who knows how long?
That's exactly what happened with the PS3. It got like a bunch of Tales games came out. Tales of Xillia 2 came out on the PS3, and I think the PS4 was just launched or something like that. It's I think that I don't think the PS4 is dead when the PS5 launches, which I like. I do think that the Xbox One will die as soon as the new Xbox launches. Like it's done. We won't see any other games for it. It'll be exactly what happened to the 360. Right when the Xbox One launched, you didn't hear anything about the 360 after that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like you were saying, that's probably just because of Japanese markets, though. Because Japan loves Sony so much, so they keep getting. I mean, we still get Vita games from Japan every once in a while, and it's like I haven't touched my Vita in like years. It's like so dead in America. And
I think that's what's nice about like the soundness of that investment in like a Sony console. It's like it'll still be useful even when the next one comes out.
For sure. Yeah, I agree with you with the Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox One this generation, I don't know, man. It's just been rough for it, in my opinion. Because like, before Game Pass existed, because now there's Game Pass and backwards compatibility, so there's that. I worked at GameStop for a while. Rest in peace. We'll see how that goes. But I worked at GameStop for a while, about 3 years, and every time someone would come in and be like, "Oh, I'm thinking about getting a new console. Should I get an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4?" I'd be like, question number 1, what do your friends play on? And if they'd be like, "Oh, they don't have them," or like, "I don't care," then I'd be like, why would you get an Xbox? Like, the only reason to get an Xbox is if you play multiplayer games and that's what your friends play on. Because other than that, PlayStation just beat it hand over fist this generation. But except for Game Pass.
Now you don't even need that. crossplay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not everything yet, but like all the bigger stuff, I guess. Sony's still stubborn about that.
Yeah.
Let him be. Ain't nobody want to play online games anyway.
I was thinking that, Brian, when you were talking like, oh, I've been playing all this multiplayer games. It's like, man, I never play multiplayer games.
Oh, you have friends? That's cool.
It's like I did a lot in high school, but just because I wanted to be friends with people, and they were like, let's play Madden, and I was like, okay. And so I would like play Madden and like Call of Duty, and I bought the newest Madden and the newest Call of Duty for like 5 years in a row, and would play them for like 3 hours with people and never touch them again, and be like, well, they were $60. Yeah, I don't know. I never play multiplayer games.
Well, that's because there's not even that many like good ones nowadays, I feel,
Yeah,
like, it's just not the same. Like it's all either if you're gonna play an online competitive game or an MMO that is not a good MMO,
All my friends that I know that still play online games, some of them still play Fortnite, believe it or not. Or they play oh gosh, what's the other one? The other battle royale, I'm blanking.
PUBG.
No, not PUBG. Apex Legends.
Apex Legends, there we go.
Yes.
We do not play battle royale games.
I certainly don't. But yeah, all my friends
I'm terrible at them.
Yeah. All my friends that still play online games play Fortnite, Apex Legends, or Rainbow Six Siege. So, they tried to get me into Rainbow Six so hard, and I'm just so bad at that game. I just held them back. So I said,
yeah, because it's always like like I said, it's always like competitive. I wish that competitive games to just like hang out with your friends and play,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of how like Animal Crossing is right now. But as I feel like in person, like I'm a really social guy, but only like in person. So when people are like, come play Animal Crossing, I'm like, or I could just like sit by myself and play Persona.
Yeah, but even then, playing Animal Crossing is a single player game, in my opinion. The only reason you'd want to play online with friends is to use them. That's the only reason you want to play Animal Crossing multiplayer.
But so many of my friends play for hours upon hours on each other's islands, and it's
what's there to do on other people's islands? I'm literally in and out of another person's island in like 5 minutes. Like
I don't know, man. They just like fuck around. Like they just, I don't know. And I've done it a few times because it's fun. You can all like go fishing and stuff, and like it's an all right time. But then I get bored.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is like one, like they didn't make it easy for you to do things like that. Like one, loading into another person's island takes fucking forever.
It does.
Island takes fucking forever. There's only so much stuff you can do on another person's island. Like fishing,
right?
And like trying to chat with your friends at all is abysmal.
Yeah, we just use the like Nintendo Switch app.
Yeah,
but then like some people
you still have to like have a whole nother device like doing stuff for you.
Well, and then like so Animal Crossing is like insane. I can't believe it's selling as well as it is, because I have friends that I'm in Japanese class with in college, or like, I don't know, some like random ass class, and they never play games, but they went out and bought a Switch for Animal Crossing. And so they're like, let's play online. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, how do we talk to each other? And I'm like, well, you have to get out the Switch app and download it. And they're like, what? And so
exactly. Or you can press R1 and spend 6 hours typing a sentence.
Yeah.
Only to like have someone reply to you and you can't see it because you're too busy typing your reply to what they said.
Yeah. Animal Crossing has its issues, but no, I don't know. When you said like a chill game online, I was like, I mean, there's Animal Crossing, but like,
yeah, like Animal Crossing, I feel like for me, it's always going to be one of those garden experiences where you're just there to like relax and just kill time for yourself, like it's for people who like to micromanage stuff. Be like, oh, I'm gonna make my island look like this, and you spend like 3 weeks doing it because it takes forever to do anything in that game.
I mean, Animal Crossing with me is I don't know, I'm like not a micromanager, because they like I like recently unlocked all of the stuff that where you can like terraform your island, and I was like, I don't even know what to do with this, like that's too much power. But I wake up every morning, and like one of the first things that I do is I just like get on Animal Crossing for like 30 minutes,
And
I
just do your daily routine, shake some trees, mind your rocks and things.
Yeah. And now that like, I don't know, now that like classes are online and I'm just like sitting around here, sometimes during class, I'll just like, I don't know, if I have like 30 minutes to spare, or if I need to just like right before this, I like got on here like 10 minutes before you guys were here, and I was like, oh, nobody's on. So I just like sat and played Animal Crossing for like 5 minutes. So like, that's the kind of game that is for me, where I just like catch fish for like 10 minutes at a time and then set it down. And then I have friends that have already put like 200 hours into it, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like,
I've seen some things that people have made in that game, and I'm just wow, that's a lot of time you just put in there. Every
like,
building you moved was a day.
Yeah, like I know I'll get there eventually, because I love Animal Crossing, but it's just a slow burn for me, and people are just like pouring their lives into it.
Yeah. But you know, it's just you get what you want out of that game. You know, you put in however much time you want to put into it. It's a good single player game. I don't know if I would play with friends that much.
I feel like this is the tangent episode, because I have no idea how we got here.
I don't know either, but I'm gonna have to re-listen to this and crop a lot of stuff out.
We can wrap up, because
let's wrap up. Does anybody have a game shout out of the week that they want to give out?
Play Biped and play Final Fantasy. What are you doing?
There it is.
I've got
a game on releases.
I want to shout out. I haven't played, but it looks weird as hell. Have you guys heard of Snakeybus?
No.
Okay, so I know like so little about this game, but I've seen like videos online of it, because like you were saying, it's like dead on releases other than Final Fantasy. So people have been like talking about this a little bit, and it's kind of like Snake, where you've like got like this huge, a big thing, and it's like a puzzle where you're trying not to like run into yourself. Except I think there's no way to die, and it's like this huge open world, and you're just a bus with like an
this game looks amazing.
It's just like
I just looked
it's like
it
an
up.
infinite amount of like buses like behind you, and so it looks like, I mean, I don't know how much it is. I think it's like really cheap, but it looks like a fun game to like get on and be like, man, $10. $10. It's like it's $10. It's like, oh man, Persona 5 is really kicking my ass, or like, oh, it's pretty heavy, or man, Final Fantasy 7.
Oh shit, multiplayer update. Whoa. You could play this with your friends.
Point is, it looks weird and fun, and just like a fun thing to mess around. So there isn't much coming out this week other than Final Fantasy 7, which I feel like is what everyone's gonna get. But I thought I would shout that out. I think
I also vote for Snakeybus. I'm in it. I'm gonna buy this game.
I think it came out. It looks like it came out on like April 3rd, so a few days ago. But yeah, go check it out.
That's awesome. Good shout out. Good call on that one. All right, wrapping up. Thank you everybody for listening. That's another episode of the Noisy Pixel podcast for you. Be sure to check out the website, noisypixel.net. There's a ton of good gaming content on there, from reviews to previews to interviews. All things video games, not just the tangential stuff that we talk on here. But yeah, be sure to like and subscribe if you're looking at this from the YouTube version, and share us with your friends. We're basically on everything for everyone.
Yeah.
So you have no excuse other than you hate us. And if you want to reach out to us about the podcast, just stuff you want us to talk about, or just to say hi, give you a shout out or something like that, you can reach out to me at Brian, Brian, at noisypixel.net. And other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Wash your damn hands.
Yeah, wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your damn hands.